Hello students, I am Miss Sudeshna and I am a faculty member of StudyHawk Coaching Center. Our coaching center prepares the students for Sainik school, military schools as well as Navodaya school, and it has online as well as offline classes facilities also with food and accommodation. And we are enrolling the students from class 3 to class 10, and now there is a limited time offer where you can pay only rupees 625 per subject monthly, and this offer is valid till this month May end. Okay, and the classes timings are from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. from Monday to Saturday. And next I am taking the subject biology, and the first unit that I am taking is regarding cell, its structure and the functions. Okay, so as you can see in this picture, there are two types of cells. The first round or oval one is animal cell, and the next rectangle one which is covered by a cell wall, it is called plant cell. So you can see that in animal cell there is no cell wall, and in plant cell there is presence of cell wall. Okay, and next we will see the introduction. And as we know that the cell is considered as the basic structural as well as functional unit of life, because it has a self-replicating property. See, one cell will divide into two cells, and those two cells will go and divide into other four cells. Okay, so as we know that one house or one tree, okay, one house is made up of many bricks, like thousands of bricks. Okay, and even our human body as well as the plants, animals, birds, each of these living beings, we are also made up of like small units, and those small units, each one is called cell. So the first cells were discovered by Robert Hooke in the year 1665 from a slice of cork. And he has basically discovered the cell from a slice of cork when he was observing the cork very closely. And then he has classified there are two organisms. So when each organism is made up of only one cell, those are called unicellular organism, and whichever organism is made up of more than one cell, those are called multicellular organisms. And next, as you can see in this picture, that it is a structure of cell, and inside these cells there are numerous various organelles. Okay, so first we can see there is a round big shape nucleus. So we know that human body has brain. Okay, and the brain is controlling everything. So in the cell also, the nucleus acts as the brain which controls the other activities of the cell. And the other organelles are mitochondria, Golgi complex, ribosomes, vacuole, and next perioxysome, and this blue color is called the centriole. Next comes the outer membrane, that dark blue color membrane, that is the outer covering, is the cell membrane. And next comes the cytoplasm, that is the base of the cell. Okay, and next comes lysosomes. Next there is a network. See, around the nucleus there is one network. Okay, and it is called endoplasmic reticulum. And the last one is DNA. DNA is present inside the nucleus of the cell. So in the cell theory, there are three statements proposed by Matthias Sladen and Theodor Swan in 1839. So the first statement is all living things are made up of cells. So as I have told you that human beings, plants, animals, birds, insects, okay, these are all made up of one or more than one cells. Okay, and the next is cells are the smallest working unit of all living things. So as we know that apart from house and non-living things, the living things, that a human body or a complete tree is made up of smallest units. Okay, and those units are called cells, and cells are the basic functional and structural unit of all the living things. Okay, you can see any like insects, birds flying. Okay, and those animals are made up of the smallest unit are called cells. And the third statement is all cells come from pre-existing cells through cell division. So as I have told you, each cell has the property of self-replicating, means one cell will divide into two cells, and the two cells will divide into four, and this is how the process goes on. And Hence our body is made up of millions and millions of cells. So the last statement tells that all cells come from pre-existing cells. Whatever the cells were present, okay, from that only it is multiplying and dividing into millions of cells through cell division. So what are the constituents of cell? So different substances that make a cell are collectively called protoplasm. So I have told you about the organelles. Okay, there are several organelles, and in total they are called protoplasm. Okay, inside the cell membrane there are many organelles and substances like the cytoplasm and the mitochondria, nucleus. So all these substances are collectively called as protoplasm. Okay, now the protoplasm is made up of the following structures. Okay, so what are those? Water. So there is 70 to 80% water is present in each cell. Next comes carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and the last is electrolytes. So what are electrolytes? These are ions. Okay, ions such as sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, phosphate, chloride and bicarbonate ions which are present in the cell. Next we will see the major structures present in a cell. So the first one, the cell membrane or the outer covering of the cell. Okay, and next is cytoplasm and its organelles. Okay, cytoplasm is the base where the organelles are situated. Okay, and the last one is nucleus. As I told you, it works as a brain which is controlling the entire cells and its functions. So the cell membrane is the outermost structure which covers the cell, and it is made up of bilipid layer and with embedded proteins. So in the cell membrane there are bilipid layer. Bilipid means two lipid layers. Okay, one is from the outer and the other is from the inside, and in those bilipid layer there are few proteins embedded in those layer. Okay, so there are integral proteins and peripheral proteins. Next we will see the functions of cell membrane. Okay, so the outer membrane, whatever like it is made up of, it is protective. Okay, that is why it is a outer membrane. Okay, it protects from any other like other organelles. Next is digestive. So the cell takes in food and excretes the waste products. Okay, as we human being eat food and then excrete through urine and feces, same like that it is a digestive property of the cell that it will intake food and excrete the waste products. Okay, and the third one is selectively permeability. Okay, so why selective? The cell membrane will select few materials to allow inside, and from inside it will few materials will go outside of the cell. Okay, so what are those molecules? The first one is non-polar molecules like the gases. Okay, gases means oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen, and also lipids, hormones, alcohols can dissolve in the non-polar regions of the membrane and move rapidly across the membrane. Okay, so just because it is a selectively permeable membrane, so it will allow only the non-polar molecules to come inside the cell. Okay, from outside it will come inside. And the next is polar molecules such as water soluble ions, glucose, urea. They have much lower solubility and therefore it will not penetrate the membrane, and that is why it will always stay outside the membrane. Okay, the membrane will not allow the polar molecules, they will only allow the non-polar molecules to come inside the cell. And the next is chemical and physical properties of the membrane. Here we will see that the intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid, okay, there is a control the free passage of ions in and out of the cell. Okay, some molecules will come in the intracellular fluid and some molecules will go into the extracellular fluid. Okay, where the cytoplasm is located, okay, the inside of the cell contains the intracellular fluid and the outer surface of the cell is called the extracellular fluid. Okay, and there is another property that the cell membrane links the adjacent cells together. Okay, So as I have told you, there are millions of cells in our body, and these are attached by cell membranes only, and they has the property to link all the cells like a gum. Okay, like a gum, they will link the all the cells together by junctional complexes. Okay, and numerous cells will form tissues. Okay, if there are like hundreds of cells, they will come together to form tissues. And next we will see the cytoplasm and its organelles. So cytoplasm is a thick gel-like semi-transparent fluid that is found in both plant and animal cell. So it is the floor, it is like a floor, okay, floor of the house where we are like walking and we are making the rooms and we are keeping all the things. Okay, so it is the base of the cell, and the constituent parts of cytoplasm are cytosol, cell organelles, and cytoplasmic inclusions. Okay, it is same like the floor, building floors, and there are many structures and we are making the rooms, furnitures and all. So whatever it is there, they are the cytosol, cell organelles, and cytoplasmic inclusions. Okay, and bounded by the cell membrane and contains many organelles in a eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell is a cell which is bound, which has a bounded nucleus. Okay, as I have told you, nucleus, it should be bounded in a eukaryotic cell. Okay, even the eukaryotic cell is bounded by the same type of cell membrane. Okay, cytosol is the aqueous part of the cytoplasm outside all of the organelles, also contains its own distinctive properties. So you know that there are the organelles are placed in some situation like in the cytoplasm. Okay, so apart from that, whatever the remaining part is left in the cytoplasm, these are called the cytosol. Okay, and the cytosol, it almost accounts 70% of the total cell volume. Okay, it covers 70% of the cell volume. It is also a base. Okay, and it has a gelatinous substance consisting mainly of cytoskeleton, filaments, organic molecules, salt and water. And chemically, the cytoplasmic matrix is composed of many chemical elements in the form of atoms, ions and molecules. As I have told you, in electrolytes there is sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphate. Okay, these ions are mainly present in the cytosol, where the cell organelles are not present in the cytoplasm, in the base. Next we will come to the organelles. So what are the organelles? First is mitochondria, then endoplasmic reticulum, next lysosomes, Golgi apparatus, perioxysomes and vacuole. Okay, and each organelle is bounded by a lipid membrane. As we have seen the cell membrane, so it has the same property. Okay, each organelle is made up of the same bilipid membrane and has specific functions. So first one we will see mitochondria. It was first observed by Kolliker in 1850 as granular structures in the striated muscles. Okay, so Kolliker discovered this mitochondria and it is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, and it has a structure, length and diameter. Okay, and it is filamentous or globular in shape. So in the structure of mitochondria, as you can see, it has two membranes. One is outer membrane and the other is inner membrane, and it has like filamentous or globular in shape. Okay, they will form two types of shapes. And there is cristae. Cristae means this, you can see that the inner membrane has formed like folds, folding structures. These folding structures are called cristae. Okay, and inside this folding structure, the blue color is the matrix, that is the like same like cytoplasm. Okay, you can also see that there are like small minute cells inside one big cell. Okay, and in structure it is made up of the outer membrane, inner membrane and the intermediate space, which it is the space between the outer and inner membranes, and the cristae. Cristae is the inner foldings of the inner membrane. Okay, and the blue color part I have shown you, it is the matrix, the space enclosed by inner membrane. And the membranes are made up of phospholipids and proteins. It is same like the cell membrane only. Okay, these all the membranes are covered. So next comes the functions of mitochondria. So the first one is they they are power generating units of the cells. So they are mainly basically the power generating units of the cells. So they store energy. Okay, and the next is they are important to maintain proper concentration of calcium ions within various compartments of the cells. So the mitochondria will mainly maintain the proper concentration of calcium ions inside the cell. And next is energy transduction through respiration. So as in human body, we know that from the nose we are intaking oxygen rich air and we are exhaling the carbon dioxide rich air, and this work is done by the lungs. Okay, so you can also say that mitochondria is the lungs of the cell. And the last one is responsible for thermogenesis. Thermogenesis means maintains a proper temperature. Okay, so inside the cell also the mitochondria has to maintain a proper temperature. Next is endoplasmic reticulum. So as you have seen those network like structures, okay, so these are network of tubular and flat vesicular structures in the cytoplasm. So it looks like a same tube, or like same tubes are flat vesicular structures. So it is an extensive network of closed or flattened membrane bound sacs called cisternae. Okay, in the mitochondria we have seen the those cristae. Okay, those same cristae here it is called cisternae. Okay, there are these membranes are converted into folding structure. Okay, and the inside there are few spaces. This space inside the tubules is filled with endoplasmic matrix. Okay, so inside in this diagram you can see that these are spaces. Okay, and these are cisternae. The foldings are called cisternae, and the spaces in between these structures is called cisternal space, and it is filled with endoplasmic matrix. Okay, so next we will see there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. The first one is soft and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and the next is rough endoplasmic reticulum. So what is the difference? In the smooth endoplasmic reticulum the ribosomes are absent. Okay, and in the rough there are ribosomes present on the sides. And the main function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the synthesis of lipids and steroid hormones. And the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the main function is protein synthesis, processing and packaging. Okay, like you know that there is a transportation. So in the cell, like as in human body, the transportation system, we can say that there is a circulatory system and skeletal system. Okay, through circulatory system there are blood vessels. The blood is flowing from the head to the lower extremities like legs, hands, to different parts of the body. So in cell also this endoplasmic reticulum acts like a source of transporting. Okay, so what they will transport? There is synthesis of lipids and steroidal hormones, and they will act as protein synthesis and processing and packaging. Okay, and next in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum it is mainly present in lipid forming cells such as adipocytes. Okay, and interstitial cells of the testes, then glycogen storing cells of the liver and adrenal cortex, and muscle cells and leukocytes. Leukocytes means white blood cells. Okay, and in rough and endoplasmic reticulum it is present in protein forming cells. Okay, and next pancreatic acinar cells, goblet cells, and micelle granules of the nerve cells. Okay, not you can't see these two structures in all the cells. Okay, so there are few different types of cells like adipocytes, interstitial cells, and the glycogen storing cells. Here you can see the muscle cells and leukocytes. In these cells there is presence of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And on the other hand, in the pancreatic acinar cells, goblet cells, antibody producing plasma cells, here in these cells you can see rough endoplasmic reticulum. And in this rough endoplasmic reticulum ribosomes are attached. See, that is why it is called rough. And when the ribosomes are not attached, it is called smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So next comes another organelle, that is Golgi bodies. Okay, so these are collection of membranes composed of 4 or more stacked layers of thin, flat enclosed vessels lying near the side of the nucleus. So basically these are flat sacs, and it is composed of like 4 or more like stacked thin layers. Okay, and these are mainly present near the nucleus. Okay, these consist of multiple discrete compartments. Okay, they will look like a like a like they have 4 functionally distinct regions. Okay, there are parts of Golgi apparatus. So first one is cis Golgi network. Okay, in the previously what we have studied the mitochondria, and the next we have studied the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so it is like Golgi bodies are a combination of these two. Okay, so first structure we will see the cis Golgi network, and next we will see the Golgi stack, which is divided into medial and trans sub compartments, and the last is trans Golgi network. So they are also working as a like lung. Okay, so they are working as well as a lungs, in as the respiratory system, as well as a circulatory, like transporting from one place to another. Okay, transporting system, as well as like the blood system, also circulatory system of the human body. Okay, so Golgi bodies mainly work for the cells for these functions, transportation and processing. Next we will properly see what are the functions. So first one, we can see that there is wrapping and packaging department of the cell. So as I have told you that they will package some proteins, carbohydrates, lipids and all, and then they will send those out of the cell. Okay, from the intracellular fluid to the extracellular fluid. Okay, and next produces secretion granules, that is membrane enclosed complexes which store hormones and enzymes in the protein secreting cells. It packages proteins. So as I have told you that Golgi apparatus is like a delivery system. Okay, so as we have seen that in Flipkart or Amazon we give orders. Okay, and from that manufacturing system, so we are getting those orders through delivery boy. Okay, so we are not going to the shop directly, so we are just giving the orders, and the orders are coming through the delivery man. So that delivery man is Golgi apparatus. Okay, they will produce and package those proteins and hormones things, whatever is needed in the body, and then they will transport from the intracellular fluid to the extracellular fluid. And it is a site of formation of lysosomes. Okay, so it is also a site of formation of lysosomes, are what large irregular structures surrounded by membrane which are present in the cytoplasm. Lysosomes we will study in the next part. Okay, and the last is it adds certain carbohydrates to form glycoproteins which play an important role in the association of the cells to form tissues. Okay, so as I have told you, it also transports carbohydrates from the intracellular fluid to the extracellular fluid. So next comes lysosomes. Okay, so these are irregular structures surrounded by the unit membranes. Okay, and it is more acidic than rest of the cytoplasm, and external bacteria as well as worn out cell components are digested in them. So basically lysosomes are called the suicidal bags of cell. So whatever it in a human body, so from the kidneys we are getting the urine. Okay, and from the large intestine we are getting the feces, that is the stool. Okay, so like urine and feces are the waste products, so lysosomes are also works as the waste product. Okay, so what lysosomes will do, it is a suicidal bag of the cell. So why it is, because if any bacteria or virus will come and attack any cell, so the lysosomes has the property of engulfing them. Okay, the lysosomes will come first and attack those bacteria and engulf them inside them, and they will die. Okay, the lysosome will first swallow and engulf the bacterial properties and then will die. So it is called the suicidal bags of cells, and it is mainly acidic in nature. Okay, And lysosomes are cell hydrolysis and they function best at the acidic pH. So for this killing property only, it is having a acidic pH, okay, acidic property, so that when there is any outer or foreign object attacking the cell, the lysosomes will go and attack, engulf the bacteria, then they will die with those bacteria only, to protect the cell, okay, and to prevent any damage to the cells. And next comes the functions. So it acts as a form of digestive system or lytic system or the cell, because enzymes present in it can digest essentially all macromolecules. So as I have told you that they will digest the bad products or the waste materials, okay, and they have, and the next point we can see that they can engulf worn out components of the cell. So it works like the same kidney, okay, in the kidney there all the waste materials are collected and through that urine is secreted, okay. So it has the engulfing property in it will engulf worn out components of the cells, that is the waste materials in which they are located. And the next is engulf exogenous substances such as bacteria and degrade them. This I have already told that they will engulf. So exogenous substances are the bacteria or viruses, whatever the waste products, they will engulf or swallow, and they will die with themselves. And in the same next point, when a cell dies, lysosomal enzymes causes autolysis of the remnant. Remnant means whatever the dead parts, okay. So that is why lysosomes are called as suicidal bags. So lastly we will see the nucleus, that is the brain of the cell. So the nucleus contains chromatin, RNA and nuclear proteins that move in the aqueous solution. So what we know that the nucleus is the brain of the cell. So it contains chromatin, RNA. The chromatin means DNA and the genetic material, okay, as well as it also contains proteins. Next, nucleus has an internal structure that organizes the genetic material and localizes nuclear functions. So here you can see one red colored nucleolus. So nucleolus mainly contains this genetic material, okay, and it has a proper structure. And here you can see one meshwork like structure, okay. So this is chromatin, okay. These are loosely attached genetic materials, okay, and the loosely organized matrix of nuclear lamins extend from the nuclear lamina into the interior of the nucleus. So here is the loosely organized matrix, okay. Next, that nucleus is also covered with a envelope or a membrane. So it has the complex structure consisting of two nuclear membranes and underlying nuclear lamina and nuclear pore complexes. So here you can see the pore complexes, and they have the outer membrane as well as the inner membrane, okay, and in between these there is the nuclear lamina, okay. The two concentric membranes called the inner and outer nuclear membranes. The outer membrane is continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum, so the space between the inner and outer membranes is directly connected with the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum, okay. So the outer membrane only turns, see this is the outer membrane, this outer membrane will go and form the endoplasmic reticulum, okay, like this it will form the endoplasmic reticulum. Then we will see the functions of nucleus. So it serves both as repository of genetic information and as the cell's control center. So as the cell's control center means it will function and control and coordinate all the things, like all the works, metabolism, respiratory functions and like excretory functions, and it will also store the genetic information, okay. Next, the presence of a nucleus allows gene expression to be regulated by post-transcriptional mechanisms such as alternative splicing. So here it is quite complicated, but splicing means just DNA formation, okay. Here we will see only DNA formation, okay, because chromatin materials are there, genetic function is there, okay. Then the nuclear envelope provides novel opportunities for the control of gene expression at the level of transcription. Okay, so there is gene copying also. And next we will summarize the topic. So as we have completed from the like cell membrane, then cytoplasm and its organelles structure as well as function, and the end we have seen the parts of nucleus also. Okay, so what are the compartments we will see here? The plasma membrane, then the cytosol, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and lysosomes, oxysomes, otherwise, or the nucleus. Okay, and at the end, what are the major functions of its? Okay, plasma membrane, the major function is they transport the ions and molecules from the intracellular fluid from and to the extracellular fluid or vice versa. Okay, and cytosol, they are mainly responsible for metabolism of carbohydrates, lipids and amino acids. Okay, so next, mitochondria is the powerhouse, it will generate the energy. Okay, and then endoplasmic reticulum, that is synthesis of protein. Synthesis means producing. They are the main production house. Okay, production or manufacturing house of proteins and lipids and energy. Okay, and then Golgi apparatus, they are modification and sorting of proteins. So after manufacturing the products like proteins, lipids and like hormones, they will undergo modification or certain changes. Okay, Golgi apparatus means mainly for packing the products that are formed by endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, these two are like interdependent in functions. Okay, and then lysozymes are cellular digestion. Then perioxysomes can utilization of H2O2. This is not completely necessary. Okay, and cytoskeleton also, it just help in the structure. Okay, and the cell motility means cell movement, and the nucleus, that is the brain, it will form the DNA synthesis and repair. Okay, it is mainly responsible for the production or the making of DNA and repair of the cell. Okay, so here we have completed the unit. Then you can also drop a message in the description box or in the comments, and you can also visit our website www.studyhawks.in. Thank you so much for watching my class, and we hope you like it, and please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and for enquiries please go through the helpline numbers. Thank you.